Welcome to your blogging era. In this video, we're going to go over how to get your blog set up, how it works, and how to edit the design. We'll go over adding the Yoast SEO plugin, how to add blog categories. We'll go through an example blog post together, and lastly, how to add more blog posts to your show it design. So the first thing we'll do is how to get your blog set up. You will click Connect Your Domain or Site Settings, go to Custom Domain and click Edit. Our domain is already connected, so from here we're going to click a Show It Help doc to go through what that looks like. You can access the Show It Help docs down here by clicking View Help Docs, and then up here we typed in Request a blog setup or migration. Within Show It, there's a couple different options, so you can click this first one to get set up with a new blog, or if you currently have a blog through Squarespace or WordPress, you can actually migrate those blogs over and the Show It team will do that portion for you. However, you will need to have the advanced Show It subscription to get that service. So from here, we'll click Launch Site with a new blog and we'll follow the steps. So this one, same process for the first portion. And then you're going to go through and answer the questions. So keep going through. And then once we get to this one, proceed to blog setup. So we always recommend to get your blog set up, even if you don't plan on blogging right away. If this part is done, then whenever you're ready to blog, this will be ready to go for you. So you'll keep going and you'll answer the questions that pertains to you. So if you're setting up the new blog, you'll select this. If you are migrating an existing blog, you will select this. And there are a few additional questions which you can see in this other help doc, and both will be linked below this video. Once you go through this process and click submit, go over what happens next. So the Show It team will reach out to you once it's completed, and they will reach out whether they are setting up a new blog or migrating an existing blog. From there, you will be able to update your DNS settings, and you can do so in your Show It account. So if you go to your design app, you can click your name and go to Manage Account. From there, it will take you to this screen. Here is where you can see the DNS settings that you have to update. So you'll get the records here, and then you will go into your domain registrar. So this is going to be GoDaddy or Wix or Squarespace. Wherever you purchased your domain from is where you're going to update the DNS settings with the records that Show It provides you here. Show It also has help docs that go through that, so I will have the DNS help docs linked below as well. Once you go through that portion, which keep in mind can take a minute to fully connect. And by a minute, I mean more than a minute for sure. But just so you know, it does take a little bit of time. So if you are planning a launch, be sure to plan in at least 48 hours to do this stuff. And even a little bit more than that. Okay, once the DNS is updated, we'll want to make sure that the SSL certificate is applied. So that is the little lock that you'll see next to websites, next to the URL. This is securing your site. So with the second subscription, that includes a blog, and the third subscription from Show It, the advanced blog, that will happen automatically, but it can take up to 48 hours. So after 48 hours, if you're not seeing the little lock icon or that your site is secure, be sure to message Show It here. If you have the first Show It subscription without a blog, after you update the DNS records, that SSL certificate will be applied automatically within a couple of minutes. So keep in mind, for each subscription, it can take a different amount of time. I will also have this SSL certificate help doc linked below this video as well. Just in case you want to reference anything, it will be available here. All right, next we're going to go over how it works. So we're going to scroll down and you'll see blog templates, and these are all of your blog pages. Now this is your official blog page, your official category page, your official single post page, and your official blog 404 page. Now blog demo, you can click these three dots and click delete. And the same thing with single post demo page, you can delete these. These were only for the template. We'll go back to blog and click page. So these are all of the canvases that make up your blog page. Within Show It, this is where you're creating the layout for your blog page, but you will be writing all of your blog posts within WordPress. You will not physically write any of the information within Show It. So when we look at this first canvas, the things that you can edit here, we have the words, the blog. This can be edited, so you can come in here and type, maybe you call this journal. You can also go to the right-hand side here and click any of the colors. You can change the font, the size. You could actually move this around wherever you want this. Then you'll notice we have search the blog. So this, we'll see this little search bar pull up. If we go to text properties, you'll see WordPress placeholder search bar. So the things you can edit here would be the color, the font, the size. Again, you can move this really like anywhere you want. The next things here, you can change these photos. So you can double click and add a new photo. If you want there to only be one photo, you could, for example, we could hide the photo on desktop and mobile. We could make this photo bigger. We're going to center it. So you've got options within this first canvas altogether. You could make this canvas also bigger. You could add more photos in here. This part you can kind of customize however you'd like. We will be going over categories. So if you do want people to search categories, we will leave these here, and shortly we'll be going over how to add blog categories. Next, you'll notice the next few canvases are layout 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So within Show It, this is the design. So we're saying in this layout, we want this photo, this size. This is what the fonts look like. This is what a blog post title will look like. Our blog categories will populate in this space, and they will be this font, this color, and they will be located here. The things that you can edit within the blog design, you have a lot of customization here that you can do. One, you can swap out all of these photos just so that it is your work. Now, you don't have to, because it will not show these photos live. These, again, are just the placeholders. So, for example, we could, if you want these to be smaller, we could change that and they could all be smaller. Again, we could move all of this up here. The whole thing really can be changed. You can also come here. When you click category, you'll notice this little bubble that says post categories. If we go to text properties, it is saying our WordPress placeholder is post categories. So in WordPress, whatever we select for the category will populate in this space. You'll notice this blue rectangle, and when we go to text style, we have overflow set to crop. That means it will only show the post categories within this blue rectangle. So if you have, for example, maybe several categories, you can come in here and extend this so that way they will list all the way out. With the word category, you could change the color here. We could change the font altogether. You could change the size, line height, all of the letter spacing, all of this. This could be lowercase. All of that can change here. With the blog post title, same thing. So we could change color, font, size. We could pull this all the way over so that way your post titles would come all the way across. You'll also notice this little blurb that says post title. So if we go to text property, the WordPress placeholder is post title. So that means whatever you write for your blog post title in WordPress is going to populate in this rectangle. Now here, if we go to text style and we go to overflow, we have display. So if it is longer than this blue rectangle, it will come down here and it will display. You can edit the same things over here. So if you want this photo to be different, you could change the size of that. And then the same things here. So we can edit category, size, color. You could physically move it somewhere. They could come over here. You'll notice in layout 1 within the canvas, we have these little tabs in Show It. These are called canvas views. So everything for one blog post, so for example, photo, category, title, has to be within the same canvas view. If, for example, you don't want categories to show up, you can also just hide that, and it will only show the featured image that you select in WordPress and the blog post title that you write in WordPress. And then the same thing goes throughout all of these. So again, if you want this one to be a different size, you can change that here. If you want, so if we look at the whole page and say we want actually this canvas to go up here, we can also just select it and rearrange the whole thing that way as well. As you scroll down, you'll notice this older and newer posts. So these are also placeholders. So the font will look like this, and we have older post link. If we go to text properties, the WordPress placeholder is older post link. It will populate in here, and same thing with newer posts. So again, things you can edit would be the text style, so color, font, size, line height, all of this goodness here. If you don't want this on here at all, we could just hide it. Now, the cool thing is when somebody will click, for example, category. So we will be putting in your category in here. Say if one of these are weddings. So when somebody clicks weddings, they are going to go to your category page. Now, the category title will populate in here, and this will say weddings. Then all of the blog posts here will show all of the ones that you have the category selected in WordPress called weddings. On the category page and blog page, the way this works is if somebody clicks this blog post, they will then be taken to the single blog post. So again, within Show It, this is just the layout. The featured image will be here. So if we go to our blog page, this image is the featured image on the blog page. And when you click the single post, this will be the same featured image. So from here, you'll see the featured image. Here we have the post excerpt, so just a little brief description. We have the blog post title here. The category will populate here. And then the post content. So if we go to the page, you'll see post content. And then this canvas itself is set to grow with content. So everything that you add in the blog post in WordPress will be in this area of the page. We then have comments here, and the comment form will populate in here. So if you want to have people leave comments and stuff, you can leave this here. If you don't want this feature, you can turn this off just by hiding it here. All of your comments will come through on the WordPress end, so we'll respond to comments will be via WordPress. The other canvas we have here that will show up on every blog post is a call to action, or even letting them know more about you and your artwork. So here, if you want this canvas, be sure to come through and make some edits to it so you can change the words. You can use the words that are here. We can, of course, swap out this photo for sure you want to switch. And then we have it going to send inquiry. So if we go to click actions, it's going to the contact page. And same thing with the little circle here. So you'll want to update this canvas. All right, next we're going to go into WordPress. So if we go back to your Show It account, you'll see blog admin. So you can select this to access your WordPress account. All right, here is WordPress. We're in the WordPress dashboard. One of the first things we're going to do is add the Yoast SEO plugin. Now, this plugin is super helpful to learn more about search engine optimization. It is helpful even just to improve yours. So typically, if you scroll down, yours will be here, and all you'll have to do is click activate. Ours is already activated. If you do not see it pop up here, you can go over here and type in Yoast, and it will show up here. And again, you'll just click activate. When we go to write the example blog post, we will go through the Yoast SEO plugin in more detail. You will have the free version available through this. If you do want to upgrade to the Yoast Premium plugin, you will also have to upgrade your Show It subscription to the advanced subscription to do so, which you can do by messaging the Show It chat support right down here. Next, we're going to go over how to add blog categories. So to do that, we'll go to Posts and then Categories. So these will be the categories that you typically want to book more of, that you like doing. These are the ones you want to really showcase. So for example, that might be weddings. The slug will be all lowercase with no spaces, and you'll click Add New Category. So you'll see it over here. We will then go to your Show It site. We are going to go to the blog page, and up at the top, the only place you have to update the categories is in this first canvas. So for example, category 1, we'll double click in here and we're going to type weddings. Next, you have to go to click actions. You will see the type is URL, and the URL already has this in it. You're going to keep that there, and on the right side, you're going to add weddings, all lowercase with no spaces. This right here, whatever word you put here, has to be the exact same as the slug right here. Okay. Then let's say we'll go to WordPress. Say you have a category that has 2 words. It will be all lowercase with a hyphen connecting it. It will say styled shoots. So we need this exact slug. We'll go back to Show It. This will be styled shoots. And then with that selected, you're going to go to click actions, URL. Right after here, you're going to paste in that slug. Again, it has to be exact. If it's not the exact same slug that you have within WordPress right here, it will not work. So if you do run into an error with this, just be sure to double check that you have the exact same slug here. So now when people do click weddings, this is where they are going to be taken to the category page. Right in here, this will say weddings, and then all of your blog posts that have the weddings category selected will populate in here. You can have as many categories in here as you want, and when you write a blog post, you can also select all of the categories that pertain to that blog post. So speaking of blog posts, let's go through and write an example one. So we can go to posts and click add new here, or from the top we can click new and then click post. Perfect. So right here we're going to add the title. So if we look at our show it design, we have about this much space here. Now keep in mind the blog post title is set to display. So if it is longer, it will just be right down here. So I'm going to copy this text and paste it here. So this is letting me know I have about this much room. So this is such a great area to add in keywords for your blog post. So I try to think of what words would somebody be typing to find this blog post. Let's see. I would do something like this, but with more detail on your actual shoot. So having like location, maybe the type of session, maybe a descriptive word like that will be really helpful. Next, we're going to type words for the blog post. So you can start typing here. We always recommend 300 to 1,000 words for each blog post. This will be super helpful to not only have beautiful artwork, but to also have words so that search engines can read your blog post and then connect it with people who are searching for this type of content. From here, we'll click enter. There are also other resources available now to help with writing. So for example, there is Chat GPT, and then there's also now Gemini. So if you are getting stuck writing words, you can go to those resources to help you just get started. From there, once you type in what you need, they will then provide the actual writing for you, and then you'll want to, of course, like edit it to make sure that it is like sounds like you, to make sure it does talk about your actual session accurately, but sometimes that can be helpful. From here, we'll go through and adding the images. So you'll click this little plus sign, and then we'll click gallery. So for here, we'll upload. Okay, so this is such a great space to a couple of things. Rename your photos before you upload them. So physically come in, and this one's a little bit more tedious, but this is where you'd want keywords that go with this session. So whatever that may be, you would write those in here. And then also I would put these through a file size reducer. So we use JPEG Mini. There are free ones available, but if what you'll do is grab all of these, and I put them through JPEG Mini. So these are already done, but that way we're reducing the file size without losing the quality of the images. So let's select some of these to go in. All right, so we can upload directly in just like that, or we can also when we click gallery, we can go to media library, and you could upload within here. We can create a gallery. So you've got a few different options on the ways that you can add in the images. All right. We can also, so a couple things with images. When you kind of bring them in, WordPress will like auto place them in here. If we select this negative space, you'll notice over here on the right-hand side, we have block. These are the column settings, so we can change this as well. And it will, again, kind of auto move them. If you want just one at a time, whatever you would like. We also have resolution here. There's link to, so if that is something you would like to do. And then we have crop images to fit. So if we turn that off, you're going to see we have all of the image sizes themselves. We can use randomize order. From here also, if we select the image itself, up here at the top, you'll notice you have these other editing options. So for example, we can move the image, so this left. We could change that, undo. We can go through and kind of align things. So you have these options. You can come up here as well. I can delete out an image, replace, add caption, crop, link. So you have these different options here as well. I like to kind of go through and add less photos at a time. So you can kind of create, like say we just do one image. So then it will bring up just this one. And then from there, we can add another gallery. And for example, let's do maybe 3 images. So you can kind of create a more unique layout with less images in each gallery. But that is one way you could come through and do this as well. Okay. WordPress also goes through and auto saves, but it never hurts up here to also click Save Draft just in case. So I'm just going to let this load for a second. All right, so we'll notice down here that we have the Yoast SEO plugin. So this we can add in a focus key phrase. The plugin is here to also help you improve your search engine optimization, and you can learn so much from the Yoast blog as well. This is where we're going to want to do some sort of key phrase, so like keywords that go along with this blog post. Down here, we'll have the SEO title. So this title can be different than the slug, so you can also edit it a little differently. From here, you'll add in a meta description. This is describing the blog post itself. And when you type it in here, this will be green or it will go orange. It will change colors, letting you know if you need to add more words or less words. And again, the meta description can be a great place to add in those keywords as well. From here, you'll notice these smiley faces right out the gate. And down here, it'll say SEO analysis. So it will let you know how to fix this blog post and how to make it better. So outbound links, this is a great place if you've worked with maybe other vendors on this session to link out to their sites. Because if, for example, if this is a wedding, or maybe let's go with a wedding, I'm sure couples are going to be also looking for a florist in the area. And if you've worked with somebody that you can also help with your ideal clients, it's going to be so much more beneficial. So with any of the text, we can select it, go to link. Let's set a link here. If you are linking out, I always recommend opening in a new tab. So for example, if this is going to, say, that florist company, you can click open in a new tab and then click save. Then you can come back down here and we'll see that we have, it says none appear because it's on our own site. You'll notice when it comes through here, this will then change once you start adding some. And then we always suggest to link back to your contact page as well. So then, or somewhere else on your site, but typically, like, so people know that, like, hey, okay, like, they've looked through, and if they want to, like, reach out, that you're directing them exactly where to go. So do the same thing here where you're linking directly within your site. And then you'll just go through here. Within Yoast, they do provide things within, like, if you have more questions around it, you can look into, like, go to the Yoast blog, and they will give you more information. We also have readability here, so this is awesome, but it will also tell you here, like, how to improve this. They also have different features with the premium account as well. So if that's something you're interested in, you can take a look. Just keep in mind you will have to have the advanced Show It subscription to get other WordPress plugins. Next, we're going to go over here to Post. If we click Publish and we go to Visibility, we can see it's public, private, password protected, and then publish immediately. So this is cool too. We can have it published right away, or we can potentially schedule this out. So depending what you want to do. However, keep in mind for your launch, you will want these blog posts to be live so people can see them. You have the option to add tags here. The Yoast SEO shows you that. We're going to scroll back down here. And then here are categories. So again, you're going to want to select the category that this belongs to. So if it's a wedding, we select wedding. Is it also maybe a styled shoot? We can select both at the same time. We have the tags and then your featured image. So you'll want to be sure to add that. Now this featured image that you're adding in WordPress is going to show up. If we go to your Show It account, it will show up in one of the featured images here. So as you post them, it will be in descending order. So then, like, for example, with this one being our first blog post, we will then see it populate here. But as you keep publishing, they will move along. Write an excerpt. So we do want to have the meta description. So if it's written here, you are good to go. And then you can also have, if you would like discussions or comments in this option here, you would select that. So then to go back out to all of your posts, we can click View Posts. So it might not be saved. Let's wait and make sure that this would fully be saving before you exit it. From here, you can see all of your blog posts here, and then there's also this option to quick edit, quick edit, trash preview. So we can do quick edit here. If you need to swap any of the categories, you can do that, and then just click update. Lastly, we're going to go over how to add more blog posts to your Show It design. So if we go to Show It and say, for example, we've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So say if you want to showcase even more blog posts on your blog page, you totally can. So you can take any of the designs here, layout 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So say we want maybe 3. I'm going to come up here and duplicate, and then I can drag this one down. Okay. And say we like this order. What we're going to do is just count the amount of blog posts. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we will go to WordPress, and we will go to settings and then reading. So here we have blog pages show at most 9. So we would need to update this to the number that you have, and then down here click Save Changes. And I will see you on the next one.